You ever notice how it starts strong and then just fades? First week, she's engaged, replies quick, asks questions, laughs at your dumb jokes like they're Netflix specials. Second week, energy shifts, replies slower, shorter messages, less curiosity. And you're sitting there thinking, what changed? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes nothing changed. She just saw enough. Modern women don't lose interest fast, they filter fast. There's a difference. See, attention spans didn't shrink, standards sharpened, options expanded, information travels instantly. And most men are still operating like it's 2009. Back then, mystery lasted longer. Now, you reveal your entire personality in 48 hours. Your humor, your insecurities, your daily routine, your availability. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. Overexposure kills intrigue. Not because you're boring, because you're predictable too quickly. Predictability without depth feels flat. You text all day, reply instantly, always available, always agreeable, always good morning, and what are you up to? It feels attentive, but it also feels easy. And easy doesn't create tension. Tension creates curiosity. Curiosity sustains interest. Now let's go deeper. Modern women are overstimulated. Social media, work, friends, family, messages from other men. Their attention is constantly pulled. So when you enter her life, you're not competing with one guy, you're competing with stimulation. If you come in loud, overeager, overly available, you blend into the noise, because loud is everywhere. What's rare? Calm, purpose, emotional steadiness. You know what makes interest drop faster than anything? Inconsistency. Week 1, you're confident, playful, busy. Week 2, you're anxious, over-texting, seeking reassurance. She feels the shift. And when she feels the shift, she adjusts. Attraction feeds on emotional strength, not dominance. Strength. Strength means your mood doesn't hinge on her responses. You don't go cold because she took 3 hours to reply. You don't double text because she didn't respond in 10 minutes. You don't suddenly pour out your feelings because you felt distance. That reactivity, that's what accelerates loss of interest. Modern women are extremely sensitive to emotional shifts because they've experienced enough volatility. They don't want chaos, they want grounded. Let's talk about validation. Most men give it too freely. Compliments every 5 minutes. You're so beautiful, you're amazing, you're different. It sounds romantic, but when validation is constant and unearned, it feels cheap. Scarcity creates value, not manipulation, just pacing. If you treat someone like a celebrity before they've invested in you, the dynamic tilts. Now she's the prize, you're the pursuer, and chasing energy is felt instantly. Here's something deeper. Modern women lose interest when they sense you don't have direction, not money, direction. If your life feels empty outside of her, that's pressure. If you cancel plans to talk to her, that's pressure. If your happiness spikes and crashes based on her tone, that's pressure. Pressure suffocates attraction because now she feels responsible for your emotional state. No one wants that weight early on. The men who maintain interest, their lives are moving. Gym, business, friends, projects, hobbies, not as a strategy, as reality. She's entering a life already in motion, not becoming the center of it. And that's attractive because purpose is magnetic. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Options. Yes, modern women have more options. So do modern men. But women filter differently. They're not asking, is he hot? They're asking, how does he make me feel long term? If your vibe feels unstable, overly attached, ego-driven, or inconsistent, you're filtered out quickly. Not because you're bad, because you feel risky. Risk kills momentum. You know what else kills interest? Oversharing too early. You trauma dump on date 2. Talk about your ex in detail. Explain your childhood wounds. It feels vulnerable, But early vulnerability without foundation feels heavy. Depth should unfold slowly, layer by layer. Mystery isn't about being secretive, it's about pacing your access. Now let's flip it. Sometimes she loses interest because there was never depth, just dopamine. Fast texting, flirty banter, late-night vibes, but no substance, no emotional tension, no shared experiences, no challenge. If it's just surface-level excitement, it burns out fast, because excitement without grounding is fireworks, pretty, short-lived. The men who sustain interest, they create polarity. They're warm, but not clingy, playful, but not unserious, interested, but not desperate, independent, but not detached. Balance. Balance is rare, and rare keeps attention. Here's another hard truth. Sometimes she loses interest because you became too agreeable. You stop having opinions. You mirror her views constantly. You avoid small disagreements. You try to be the perfect guy. But perfection feels artificial. Women respect men who can disagree calmly, who have their own taste, their own stance, their own boundaries. Attraction needs friction, not conflict. Friction. A little unpredictability, a little edge. If she knows exactly how you'll respond every time, the spark fades. Now let's talk about masculine presence, not alpha nonsense, presence. If you're always explaining yourself, always over-clarifying, always justifying your actions, you subtly communicate insecurity. Secure men don't over-explain. They state things simply. I'm busy Thursday, let's do Saturday. Done. No essay, no apology tour. That calm decisiveness feels strong, and strength sustains interest. Another hard truth about modern women, they're hyper-aware of authenticity. If you're trying to be the high-value guy instead of being yourself, it leaks. They can feel rehearsed behavior, scripted confidence, forced nonchalance. Real grounded energy doesn't try to impress, it just is. And here's the biggest one, emotional volatility. If you get distant when triggered, if you get sarcastic when insecure, if you withdraw to regain control, she feels it. And modern women don't chase emotional roller coasters anymore. They've learned. Peace is attractive now. Drama is exhausting. If being around you feels confusing instead of calming, interest fades quickly. Now let's be fair. Sometimes she loses interest because you weren't aligned, values off, timing off, chemistry off, and that's okay. Not every connection is meant to build. But when interest drops fast repeatedly, look inward. Are you over-investing too early? Under-challenging her mentally? Over-validating? Emotionally reactive? Directionless? Too available? Too predictable? Modern dating moves fast, but depth still takes time. The trick isn't to move faster, it's to move steadier. Be the man whose energy doesn't spike and crash. Be the man whose life doesn't pause for attention. Be the man who doesn't panic at small shifts. Because here's the irony. When you stop trying to hold interest, you become more interesting. When your focus shifts back to your mission, you radiate purpose. When your validation comes from yourself, you stop leaking neediness. And neediness is the silent attraction killer. Modern women don't lose interest fast. They detect instability fast. They detect overeagerness fast. They detect emotional fragility fast because they've had to. And when they detect steadiness, when they feel emotional strength without ego, when they sense purpose without pressure, when they notice you're calm whether they're there or not, interest doesn't fade, it deepens, quietly, gradually, and those are the connections that last. Not because you chased harder, not because you texted perfectly, not because you played games, but because your presence felt solid. In a world moving fast, solid stands out, and solid is hard to lose interest in.